The red door whispers. Julia backed away from the window, her breath shaking. The music box wound down with a final, discordant note. She didn't dare turn her back to the crib. She stepped out into the hall, closing the nursery door behind her. The red door pulsed. It was subtle, but unmistakable heartbeat in wood, slow and insistent. Thump, thump, thump. Julia tried not to look at it, but something about that crimson-painted barrier tugged at her senses, her thoughts. Don't open the red door. She descended the stairs again. The temperature had dropped. Frost webbed across the windows. In the dining room, the table was set for a meal that had never happened, silverware tarnished, plates coated in ancient grime. She snapped more photos, each flash feeling like it peeled away a layer of reality. In one of the photos, a woman sat at the head of the table. She hadn't been there when Julia looked through the lens. The woman was in black, veil drawn. Her hands rested on the table, bone-thin fingers curled inward. Julia zoomed in on the image. The woman stared directly at the camera, through the camera. She moved into the kitchen. The smell hit her first. Not rot, not mold, but copper, blood. The walls were splashed with it. Handprints again, but these were larger, taller than her, as if something had been dragged. There was no sign of a body, but the trail led to the basement door. It was open. She leaned over, camera at the ready. The flash-illuminated stone steps descending into shadow. The basement was cavernous, filled with old furniture, crates, and a rusted boiler that hissed like it was alive. The beam of her flashlight caught movement. Something skidded away. Something with fingers. Julia stumbled back, heart racing. Then she heard it, a soft click behind her. The red door, it was ajar. She hadn't touched it, hadn't gone near it, but now it was open by a crack. She lifted her camera, zooming in. Through the sliver, she saw darkness, and then a single eye, yellow, lidless, watching her. The thing in the walls. Julia backed away slowly from the red door. She didn't blink, not with that eye staring at her like it knew her name, like it had always known her. Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, it vanished. The door creaked fully shut. She turned to run and stopped. Every photograph she'd taken was scattered along the floor, arranged in a perfect spiral. At the center, a Polaroid she didn't remember taking. It was of her, asleep, in the lantern house. She hadn't slept. She was sure of it. Her breath came in shallow bursts now. She forced herself to gather the photos, trying not to look at the one in the center. But when her hand touched it, she heard breathing low, hoarse, right behind her ear. She screamed and spun, but the hall was empty. The house groaned. Then something else, a scratching from inside the walls. She pressed her ear against the nearest panel of wood. The sound grew louder, scrape, scuttle, a whisper, too soft to make out. A sudden bang from above. Something moved in the attic. Julia climbed again, her hand on the banister, each step feeling like it was pushing her deeper into something ancient. Wrong! The attic door was open just an inch, same as the red door. She pushed it. Inside, darkness, and then the flutter of wings. Bats, dozens of them, shrieking into the air. They exploded out the door past her, and for a moment she couldn't see. When her eyes adjusted, she saw a chair, an old, rotting, high-backed chair with leather straps hanging loose, and in it something sat. Not alive, not dead, wrapped in a moth-eaten sheet, its shape vaguely human, its head tilted toward her with that same single yellow, lidless eye. It opened its mouth, and from within came not words, but all the voices of the house. The child's scream, the woman's moan, the scrape of something crawling through the dark. Then, in her own voice, "You opened it." The attic door slammed shut, and the red door began to open again. To be continued.